Hello Virgo, great to have you here. My name is Shauna. Today's reading is a general love forecast. As always, take the messages that resonate and release anything that doesn't. Don't forget to like and subscribe to stay connected with upcoming readings. Let's see what's headed your way, Virgo. That came out while I was shuffling this spread, and then we'll go into this spread, okay? The first message that I have here is I feel capabilities to them or having to prove your intentions with them. And I feel for some of you, it might be, talking to a financial institution like a bank or even a credit union to take out a loan. And you're going to have to prove your credit worthiness with them. And that means, laying out all of your paperwork, how much money you're making, as well as all the assets that you own, so that they can approve something. So you're proving to them your ability to pay back a loan. So you're laying it out there. And I feel like it's a very extensive process, okay? So I see you shopping around, saving up money, and I do feel you talking to financial institutions regarding a major endeavor. So like it's a big, it could be like a big project or a big ticket item that you're planning to purchase. And for others of you, it's sort of like reassuring another person, I've got this, I'll take care of it, and things like that. So I'm seeing like a lot of these instances coming up through the month where you have to show somebody your capabilities, and you're not just, your sense of whether or not you're able to do something isn't so much dependent on whether or not they trust you, but I feel like you're doing it in a reassuring way to let them know that you're capable and that you can handle a situation. I do see for some of you a little bit of stress from your coworkers in your work environment. It seems as if they're a little bit frazzled, they're very worried, and I feel like you're in a position where you're going to have to reassure other people that you're working with that I've got this, I'm going to take care of it, we'll be okay. And some of you doing that with your relationship partners as well. So I feel like you're coming in this month in with a very, very strong command of your situation, with very strong situational awareness and having a lot of control in the environment that you're in, okay? The second message that I have coming through is it feels to me as if some of you are dealing with a person, and I feel like for most of you it might be a woman, like another female. It could be a child that's a female child, or it could be, somebody who has, I'm seeing more of a female energy rather than male, okay? And this person has a tendency to worry a lot. This person is not very grounded. So when they make decisions, they just kind of shoot off, right? And they don't really have a strategy. They don't really have like long-term, goals and things like that. So I feel like they behave and they react in a very instinctive manner. And I feel like you have dealt with this person for quite some time. And their life seems to me to be a little bit chaotic. And so you might have, in the past told them, you should do this, you should do that because, it's going to help you. And I feel like you're right. But they haven't really taken your advice in the past. They try their best, and given the circumstances, I feel like they just don't make good decisions overall. It's almost like, they're on, they can't see the forest for the trees, and they can't really implement the advice that you have given them. I do see them coming through. For some of you, it might be a friend, but I'm feeling a very strong feminine vibe with this person. I feel that person coming through this month with the same problem. And I feel like, this is the month in which you have to emotionally detach yourself, okay? And the key word being offer your advice one more time and relinquish control. And I feel like a lot of you, you're just like, I don't know what she is thinking, and I can't invest anymore in this emotionally. And I feel a lot of you just relinquishing control, just detaching yourself emotionally. You really care about this person, and I feel like they're coming to you with some heavy stuff. But it's the same pattern. So relinquishing control, doing your best not to control the outcome anymore, because you feel like your advice, your expertise, whatever it is that you're hoping that they would do, that's better for them, or that's more in alignment with what they should be doing. You're going to have to relinquish control for this month. The last message that I have here is I'm seeing that some of you There's a thing here where it indicates to me something about working smart rather than working hard, okay? And the past few years, many of you, you're really, really good workers. And I feel like, that you're the worker bees of the zodiac. And I feel that you might also, whenever you go through like a binge period where there's a lot of work on your plate, right? After all of it is done and over with, then you feel like, oh my gosh, I need a detox. And so you might take a vacation or you might, take it easy. And so I see this binge period of working and then a little bit of a lull where you actually like overindulge either in food, either in like, oversleeping, overeating. And so they're urging you to take better care of your health and make sure that your work does not affect you physically and emotionally. Okay, so that's really important. But the other message that's coming through where you are changing the way that you're doing things, you're finding faster, more efficient way to do things. And I feel like you're meeting coworkers and you're meeting the work demands at your own pace. So you're slowing down the work situation to match your pace so you're not wearing yourself to the ground and you're working smarter, not harder. Okay? Things will still be very productive because you know how to manage responsibilities, you know how to delegate, you know how to systematically get things done. But I feel like you're taking a smarter approach and you're detaching yourself from the work environment too so that it doesn't affect you personally and emotionally. Actually, there is one other message, and I'm trying to find a way to relay this in a coherent manner so that it ties in. I feel as if some of you are saving up quite a bit of money. And if not already, there's a big thing here about financial assets. Okay, so trying to secure a financial future for yourself, starting to save up, having disposable income where you can put it away and where you can find, other avenues where the money can start growing, getting all your bills and getting everything that you owe, and then finding ways to tackle them all at the same time. So this reading is kind of like in opposition to Leo, where Leos have this one insurmountable task ahead of them, and they're breaking it down into little manageable chunks. I feel like you're taking all of those chunks and you're clumping them together so that you can chip away at the big thing. So it's a really, really good month overall, okay? I do sense a lot of financial planning coming through for you guys, which is really good overall. So let's go into this spread here. The other message that's coming in quite strongly, and is for you to be very careful about getting all your things lined up so that you're not leaving the house forgetting little things here and there, and staying in the present moment, staying very focused so that you're not, forgetting things that you need to do. So it's sort of like, when you leave work, for example, you have a million errands to run, and you might just drive home on autopilot. So being very careful about not forgetting stuff. Okay, I don't feel like you're going to this Mercury retrograde is going to affect you personally, but I feel like it might affect the people that you are in close proximity with, either family members or people you're in a relationship with and you're dealing with them extensively. So I feel like it's affecting their ability to get things done. It's affecting their emotional well-being, as well as I see more of a nervous energy coming around from people around you rather than from you. And you're the one that's going to have to reassure others, okay? What I'm seeing here is this. The communication is going to flow heavily between you and a relationship partner. So this can be a work partnership. If things have gone awry, I do feel that you might try to, decide to disband a project. But I do feel that there is a little bit here, energy here about you having to reassure the other person that you have the best, I guess, like the best blueprint for how things should be implemented. So I see you asserting your will, asserting what you feel is the right way to move forward with projects. And then in the same light with relationship partners as well, you're reassuring them that things are going to get better. I have some things here that indicates to me a little bit of interference in current relationships. If you have a relationship that's fairly new, and fairly new means, less than a year old, okay? So that's still fairly new. And I feel like there might be some insecurities from the relationship partner about your ex, about the person that you had a significant relationship with in the past. And so you're going to have to do some, strengthening of that relationship, telling your partner, the past is in the past, I'm here now. And so doing some reassurance and basically doing damage control too, so that your current partner can trust you. I do feel as well some new things coming into the household. A lot of you might have welcomed new pets or new children into the household. And I don't like to clump pets and animal babies and pets together, but it seems to me something very small, very compact, requires a lot of attention. So that's what I'm feeling. Something was recently added into your household. If not, it's going to be added in for this month. And I feel like there's going to be a lot of like a concerted effort between partners to come together and to take care of something. Just make sure the relationship itself is very balanced, okay? I feel like if you're dealing with that situation, one person is a little bit like hands off, whereas you're a lot more hands on when it comes to like new addition to the family, new addition within the household. So pets and babies, okay? Um, what I'm also feeling is this. There is this energy. It's showing up as a blast from the past, but it's not a physical person. It's a situation that happens and that happened in the past with a person from your past, and it's triggering a specific feeling. And let me just talk about this a little bit because it's coming through strongly in these three cards. So this is the relationship that you're hoping to achieve right now, okay? It's in your 7th house with the Wheel of Fortune in the reverse. And the Wheel of Fortune in the reverse basically indicates a relationship trying to take things to the next level, trying to progress to the next stage, evolution in the relationship with another person. However, your timeline of when things need to be done and your partner's timeline as to when things need to be done are in a little bit of a conflict with one another. And I feel like the conflict is coming in externally. So, for example, some of you might want to get married, and your partner, financially and professionally, they might not be where they want to be. And so they can't really make promises until things are stable from their end, right? And then likewise, they might want to move things along in a specific time frame, and you're kind of like putting the brakes on. So I feel like there's a little bit of a mismatch when it comes to timing and when it comes to professional achievements, when it comes to, life circumstances. That's preventing you and a partner from coming together and taking a relationship to the next level. And because of that, I do sense that some of you, this incident here is triggering up something from the past where a similar situation happened, where you both really care about one another, and there was, a lot of trust, a lot of reciprocity, and a lot of warm, lighthearted feelings in the past. And I feel like you might have had a situation where you have lived with another person or might have possibly been married to another person. And the relationship itself was great, but for some reason, the timing issue was very problematic. And because of that, I feel like the relationship didn't come together, or it fell apart in a way that was kind of like regrettable and unexpected. And so because you're encountering the same type of blockage in your current relationship, some of you are feeling that sense of flashback, but some of you are feeling insecure as well. So just be careful about projecting and especially bringing old energies into new relationships. Okay, be very, very careful about that. This situation is going to write itself up, and it's going to turn out well. So I feel that you need to divert your attention towards your own life, your own things, and your own interests and your own hobbies, and especially your own friends. Okay, I do see like the friendship group association houses, like those two areas. There's a little bit of a standstill there, so you have to branch out, reconnect with some friends, do your own thing, and leave your partner to his or her own devices, so that they can, catch up to you, or they can, get themselves realigned, so that you both can then move forward together. So that's what I'm feeling here. Some of you are in a relationship here with a water sign. So this is a Pisces, Cancer, or Scorpio that you might be physically living with, and you're thinking about taking things to the next level, buying property, getting yourself into like a solid relationship, a committed relationship. And you feel almost as if they're just dragging their feet. They're not really, you know, they're not really taking the initiative to move things along in the manner that you'd hope. If that is the case, give it a little bit more time. But at the same time, I feel like having a major discussion about this, you know, where we're headed, what we're expecting from each other, that's going to be vital for you, because I feel like the relationship itself, there's a lot of chemistry. There's really, really good rapport between the two of you. I see a little bit of incompatibility when it comes to communication. One person might be very laid back, the other person might be quite assertive, but I feel that it can work out in a really harmonious manner. Okay, so it's just a matter of I feel like one person needs to slow things down a little bit and the other person needs to catch up. So it's a compromise and it can get there, but make sure both people need to, you know, work together and have this concerted effort so that one person doesn't feel like they're doing all the work to push things along. I mentioned earlier your friendship circle. There's a little bit of a silence here. So I have here the Four of Swords, which basically indicates some type of a break from communication or some type of a standstill. Okay, and I have here the Four of Pentacles as well. And the Four of Pentacles is kind of like hanging on to the status quo, not wanting to branch out, and also holding on to your feelings and not extending your tentacles out, I guess, in the group associations and in the friendship house. So both of these cards indicate that you need to reconnect with old friends. And you know, Mercury in retrograde is a time for us to redo things. The keywords meaning, the keywords coming through is like revisiting, reconnecting, and to redo something, to revisit something from your past. And that can be making time for your friends, making time to catch up. And the best things that can come out of Mercury in retrograde cycle is, you know, reconnecting and having a great conversation with somebody that you haven't seen in a while. And I do sense because of that, it's really important for you to just, you know, reach out a little bit, okay? And for those of you who are single, I do feel right now, for those who are single, and you might have had some blockages when it comes to going out, having fun, meeting new people, and even potentially putting yourself out there so that you are in the right place to meet a love relationship partner. I feel like misconnections happening for this month, okay? And I do feel there's a little bit of a, it's not so much a flake out energy, but it's sort of like you have to be extra assertive in order to connect with a romantic interest. So I feel like the chemistry is there, the potential is there. And I see a lot of you like online dating. So I have like a series of cards here that indicate, you know, letting go of the past relationship, because I feel like it was filled with a lot of strife. And I do feel like you were in a relationship where there has been a major power struggle. Power struggle is when you can't see eye to eye, and the other person, like, there's control issues, and one person wants independence, the other person wants freedom, and things like that. And so I'm feeling like you were in a relationship with a lot of like power struggles. And I feel like you were in a relationship as well where you just weren't compatible. You weren't compatible with the other person. And it seemed like they're saying here unbalanced. So that can be emotionally unbalanced. Whoever is, one person felt like they gave a lot and the other person took it for granted. So that can be an imbalance itself. Or the last thing is chemically imbalanced. Okay, so there might have been some situation here where a relationship has really good potential, but it fell apart because of some type of internal imbalance and power struggle. And I feel like this is a relationship that might have been, you know, you thought it was going to go the distance. It might have been, it might have led to marriage. You might have lived together with the other person, and for whatever reason, it didn't work out. And so it took you a long time to get to this point where you are dating. I feel a lot of you are trying to branch out. This is usually internet-based type of connection. You're making connections with other people for those who are single. You're running into new people that really spark your passion. And you're running into potentially attracted to somebody that also reminds you of your ex. So I feel like the opportunity here for you to get a do-over is very, very strong. So a redo, a rematch, a redo, and to take away the lessons from the past, and so that you can make this relationship work this time around. That's also very important, okay? So overall, for singles, the opportunity is there, but I feel like it's requiring you to revisit something from the past to make sense of it, so that you can make the new relationship a lot more successful, a lot more compatible, and a lot more harmonious. Okay? For those of you in stable relationships, I feel like you and a loved one, you're working together as a unit. You might not agree on certain things, but I feel like you're working together as a unit and you're pushing ahead. And I keep seeing this energy here where you and your partner are working really, really hard in order to push ahead professionally. And then you're both working together very hard together in order to, harmonize a relationship. And I do sense that you're doing it with a brave face, you're doing it with a smile. And if you feel at all that your partner, it seems like there is that emotional connection that needs to be revisited as well with you and your partner. It's like you're doing your own thing, they're doing their own thing, and so that emotional connection, I feel like it's like falling away on the wayside. There might be a lot of responsibilities, and so making time to have that emotional connection as well, that's going to be really important. Okay, I mentioned this last month as well, but it's coming through again. I feel like a lot of you professionally, work-wise and professionally, you have a lot of plans, and you have like you have this it seems like you're projecting into the future as to what you need to do, where you need to be, and how you can, I almost want to say like a few of you jumping ship from one department to the next, trying to get into a position where you're able to shift around a little bit more, where your professional life is not stagnant. So you're finding creative ways in order to apply your skills and to also be able to continue to rise, or to rise up that corporate ladder, or even to rise up when it comes to your salary and your work situation. So I feel like there's a lot of momentum, a lot of support overall when it comes to your professional life, okay? And others of you, they're saying like diversifying, branching out when it comes to making money. So opportunities coming in plentifully for you to start thinking about where you can make money, side projects that you can do, and things like that. So if you have reached out to a few people to collaborate with them, I feel like there's going to be a period where you are working with another, like a group of people, or like another person, is when things will come full circle, is when all of the details will be hashed out, and when the groundwork will be laid for the new preliminary planning stages. Okay, so if you're planning to buy things, if you're planning to invest too, this month and the beginning of, so I wish you the best. It looks like a lot is happening for you guys. Be very careful. This last message I'm getting here, I'm seeing like weak stomach. So that means like digestive problems, or even like I'm seeing like food allergies, digestive problems, as well as just be very careful. Heat up your food. I know that you're quite picky about your food, but specifically for this month, heat up your food before you ingest, and especially like being careful. Make sure that if something smells a little bit, like old, or if it's been sitting there and you don't know for how long, just toss it out. Okay? So be very careful about stomach issues, stomach flus, even like food allergies. But I feel something food related and intestinal issues related. All right? I know that's a weird message, Virgos, but it came out, so just be careful about that, okay? So let's go into your love and relationship reading. I see some of you who are dating new people asking you about your exes. And then as you're talking about your ex, I feel like the person that you're talking to is just like, wait a minute, but if he or she is like this, then it wasn't his or her fault. And you start getting a little bit defensive, and you're just like, yes, it was, and blah blah blah. And so whenever we have like really strong emotional triggers when somebody is talking about our ex, or when we're talking about our ex, it basically means that that situation is not over and done with. Okay, so if you can honestly just try to let that go when you're dealing with new people, that's going to be really important for you to be able to leave the past in the past and to fully be present in the, with the new relationship partner. And then I also see some of you, if you are like, let's say, if you're in a serious relationship and you're trying to take things to the next level, there's a little bit of a fear of commitment from your end because of some situation in the past with an ex that was similar and it didn't go in the manner that you'd hope. So I feel like there's a little bit of fear based on a past disappointment. Okay? Let's see what else is in store here. News of exes. I keep seeing that news of exes coming through, and I don't mean this as like the most recent ex. It's somebody that you had spent a significant chunk of your life with. Okay, it could be like an ex-wife, ex-husband, or somebody that you were together with for a really long time. You've got good cards, Virgos. You and Geminis. You guys have really good love cards. So I guess this Mercury in retrograde is working out really well for you guys. Pull out one more card here. Okay. So if you have children with another person, there's going to be, if you have children, if you have like, not so much shared assets, but if you have like, custody arrangements and things like that with an ex, they're going to be coming through heavily for this month, okay? So there's going to be communication here with a person that you share children with. And I'm sensing there might be a situation if you have like a child custody arrangement, for example, or even alimony. There's a situation here where you're going to have to either renegotiate the terms of the arrangement, okay? Or somebody is just like, oh, I can't, I won't be there this weekend. Do you mind if we switch up the dates? And so your automatic response is going to be like, no, we agreed on this. But it's really important for you to hear out the other person, because I feel like they have something that is like a legitimate reason for doing what they're doing. So I feel like there's going to be some news, communication from an ex if you have children with, or if you have like custody issues or even alimony. So there's going to be a renegotiation of some terms that you agreed in a previous time, but you're going to have to make some changes, okay? And at the same time, we have this card, the Three of Swords, which is finally getting over the ex and letting the past go, because I feel like some of you are trying to make things work with a new relationship that has a lot of potential. You've kept yourself kind of sequestered, kind of secluded from the dating environment, from meeting new people, from going out with friends. You have spent a lot of time working on your professional life, thinking about school, doing a lot of training program, training other people, or getting yourself some training as well. And so I feel like you're at a point where you feel like very secluded from human interactions. And I feel like this is the month in which you are ready to break out of your shell and to re-engage with other people, and you're over that past relationship. So you might even hear news that the last person that you were with, or that significant relationship, that person has moved on, or at least is trying to move on. So you're no longer holding yourself hostage in that, and you're trying to move on. And in the process of trying to move on, what I have here with this Six of Coins and the World, both of these cards, it's a very, very karmic energy. The World is putting ourselves out there. It shows up in the reverse, so there's a lot of hesitation and fears from your end. And I feel like there's other people coming into the picture telling you, hey, I've got a brother, I've got a cousin, I've got a sister, a cousin, whatever it is. And they're trying to play matchmaker for you. And they're trying to, ask you, like, do you want me to fix you up with this person, coworker, or whoever it is? And I feel like you have rejected these opportunities in the past. But this is the month in which you are a little bit curious. You're a little bit I feel like you've been more than ready, but you're quite shy. And so this is the month in which you might entertain the thoughts. I feel like some of you are dating via, internet-based type of dating. And then others, people are trying to make, love connections for you. You have said no in the past. And I feel like this is the month in which it's starting to pique your interest, and you might start to take them up on their offer, okay? So if that is the case and you're single, I feel here you have an offer that's coming through. This is a water sign, so a Pisces, Cancer, or Scorpio. And we also have a fire sign energy too. It shows up here as an Aries, but I feel like it's a fire sign. So Aries, Sagittarius, Leo. So you have your water sign and fire sign that's coming through, and you're trying to decide, okay? And then others, I feel like just this water sign that's coming through with a solid game plan in order to court you, in order to go out on a date with you. So I'm sensing that a lot of you don't really have an excuse anymore, to like put your life on hold, or I feel like in the past it might have been, getting over that relationship, the heartache associated with that relationship. And now that professionally things are going well, you have disposable income, your career is starting to take off, or at least you feel financial security somewhat. And you're starting to, reemerge from that cave. And I feel that the excuses are not there anymore. So you're going to need to make yourself available, okay? I feel like you're going to be in contact with this water sign. And I'm sensing some of you are still deciding whether or not to, go on a date with them, whether or not to get to know them. But I do feel it's going to be very good for you, okay? So give the other person a chance. And I'm sensing there's something here about income differential. One person making a lot of money and the other person not making as much. And so there's some hesitation when it comes to income differential between you and another person. Give it a chance. I feel like it can work out really well. Let me talk about the past situation. We have here the Justice card, and the Justice card deals with, usually like legal issues, separation, divorce, etc., as well as alimony and child custody, okay? And we have as well the Devil. And once the karmic bond has been broken with this relationship, I feel like a lot of you are trying to, like, you have moved on from it. And there's once again that ex trying to reach out. So be very, very careful. You don't need to respond. I don't feel like you owe this person anything. So just be careful about that, okay? Re-engaging in a situation that's not healthy for you. I'm also feeling like there is something here about either you or an ex-partner having like chemical dependencies. I'm seeing like dependency issues, addiction, as well as like depression. So I'm feeling this very up and down, emotional roller coaster. Somebody is very, very secretive with the things that they're doing. I don't see so much infidelity, but I feel like, chemical dependency or even codependency, financial imbalances in a past relationship, as well as like that power struggle. So all of this it needs to be left behind, because this is not a healthy environment. And I feel like for some of you, you have physically removed yourself from it. and then the other person might still be might still be trying to contact you, might still be trying to reach out. And I feel like it might be a fire sign here for some of you. So Sagittarius, Aries, or Leo, they're still trying to reach out in some way. And because of that, I feel like because you're in a position where you're moving on ahead, you're removing yourself from this unhealthy environment, or have removed yourself from this unhealthy environment. The energy that you're exuding for this month here is the Emperor. This is somebody who's very grounded, okay? Starting to get like, it seems like the Emperor basically rules his domain. And so I feel like you're taking control of your life. You're moving things along in a very, very good manner. You're taking care of the kids. You yourself might also be in a supervisory managerial position where you feel really good about your station and your professional image. And because of that, you're quite selective as well as to who you invite into your circle, because it took you a really long time to get yourself to this point. In light of everything that happened in the past, it took you a really long time. And so you don't want to be in a position where somebody can knock you off your pedestal. So you're selective about who you get romantically involved with, and you're selective about, maintaining this public persona. So I feel like there might be some attraction in the work front, and you're keeping yourself very poker faced to deflect the attention that you're getting in the work environment. And I feel like for some of you, trying to do the right thing, trying not to re-engage with the past, and maintaining sort of like this very aloof, stone cold behavior when you're dealing with somebody from the past, okay? So financially, I do sense that you want to get that situation sorted out if you are having financial difficulties. It might be blocking you as well from attracting relationship partners. So sort this out first within yourself, okay? Sort this out first within your own life, because I feel like that might be a barrier to meeting somebody new that is on the same page as you, okay? Crowning this reading is something that you are thinking about. And we have here the Wheel of Fortune and the Three of Cups. The Wheel of Fortune basically indicates the time is right and we have to do something. The opportunities are there and we need to, really go for it. The Three of Cups basically means it's social dating, getting out there, making connections, feeling that butterfly in your stomach when you engage with people who are like-minded, and engage with people in a light-hearted manner. So a lot of you are thinking about, it's high time that you get out and do this. And a lot of you are thinking about, or physically already socially dating other people. So you have some really good cards here. These are the things that you're wishing for. This is the thing that you're thinking about. And through the process of, putting yourself out there, engaging with other people, I feel like you have a water sign coming through here, a Pisces, Cancer, or Scorpio. And this person, I feel like, has very, very good intentions. And it seems to me like they might want to build a future together. So we have here the Magician. And the Magician is somebody who is quite attractive. Quite attractive. I feel like they dress really well. They look good. They dress really well. They're quite attractive and very, very intelligent. However, I feel like they might be just a little bit flirtatious. So, take your time to really get to know this person, okay? It seems to me like it's not all smoke and mirrors. They have good intentions and they have a good heart. However, whenever I see the Magician in this deck, it seems like somebody who's almost like, too good to be true. And so if they come in a little bit shy, I feel that you want to take that extra step to really get to know them, to allow them to open up. And you have a lot of you're very good at observing people and, pinpointing exactly what people's intentions are. So I feel like this is the month in which things will become very crystal clear, but you need to slow things down a little bit in the process of getting to know somebody, okay? I feel like you've got a person that is really interested in you. And especially, I feel like for some of you, it might be a person in your work environment that's either flirting with you. You might feel like, oh, they're just being nice or friendly. But I feel like you've got somebody in your work environment that's gunning for you, single. You might not even be single, but I feel like you have somebody that's gunning for you. The relationship for those of you who are in stable relationships overall. So the relationships, for relationship people, I don't see any problems here, and I feel like, this is just waiting on the decision of another person, wanting to align yourself so that you both are matching up professionally. So I feel like there's a little bit of a wait time. Both of you are trying to calibrate your life so that you're able to take things to the next level. Okay, so I do see a lot of stability coming through overall for people who are in coupled relationships. But I do feel here for singles, you've got flirtation in the work environment. You've also got people trying to play matchmaker for you. So give them that opportunity to do it and putting yourself out there to start dating. I just feel like I don't feel this Mercury in retrograde is going to affect you so much. The last one was very, very strong. And I feel like you felt it. A lot of things happened in that last Mercury in retrograde cycle. But I feel like this time you're well prepared for it. And I feel like I feel like your mind is very, very strong for this month. And so you're going to take everything with a grain of salt. You're not going to fly off the handle. You're not going to get upset. You're not going to be forgetful. But I sense that because things are going so well in your professional life, that you're not doubting yourself and you're not, thinking about worst case scenarios. And because because that energy is coming in so strong, I don't feel this retrograde cycle is going to affect you so much, okay? So it's like mind over matter. I don't feel like the cycle is going to affect you in any negative way. And I got the same type of reading for Geminis as well. And, you and Geminis, you guys are ruled by Mercury, and I don't feel like the Gemini are heavily affected by this cycle either, all right? So also donate to the channel. It would be greatly appreciated. The link for my website is in the description box below, and so is the donation link. I'll be back for the mid-month reading, and I'm trying to get the readings out sooner. So probably the first week of